potentially losing it in his own space. Bluetooth can be tricky in X spaces. I find that I try to do most of my spaces with Bluetooth disabled. That's just my preference. I don't like hosting in any kind of a headset or earbuds. In fact, this week I was shopping for those cool headsets that come from the side of the desk and kind of hang from overhead. I see all the streamers using them. Lightspeed, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you use anything like that?
No, I talk directly to my phone because I just don't want any tech messing up any of my AMAs that I do. So I just use a speakerphone.
Right. So I'm starting to get, I don't know if I'm just brave or bored, but I do the same thing. I've always gone strictly through my phone, strictly through my Android device for spaces. And it's just, I don't want to do it any other way. But they do have some of those microphones that I was just talking about that boom up and go over. But I talked to Alex, Crypto Camel, and you know how he loves sound production and sound design. And he tells me that because of the audio output from X, if you look at it on a wave graph, there is no microphone that you could possibly use that will translate to a better X spaces experience, because if you use an Android phone, the way the data is sent and received results in what he describes as a sausage waveform, meaning that there's no, subtleties in the voice. There's no peaks and valleys in the type of audio you get. So he told me I shouldn't waste my money on a microphone. So I don't know what you're dealing with, Alex, if your microphone's back or if you're trying to Bluetooth in and out of a headset, but I've been diving into that, trying to figure that out too. Bad Idea's big about diving into things. So I was diving into headsets and microphones and stuff, Alex, if you totally lost it, like if there's no way now for you to get your audio back, you may be in that situation where you have to shoot your horse, metaphorically speaking. I don't know what's going on with you. Let me switch over to the chat for a second. Has he sent you a DM, Lightspeed? I need to switch.
I can take a quick look.
Yeah, take a look and see if he's not panicking in a chat.
Hey, guys, can you hear me okay?
Hey, wow, it's Footprint Analytics, everybody. You guys know Footprint Analytics. They're a frequent guest at Pea.AI Spaces. Yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Hey, sorry about that, guys. I don't know what's going on here. This first time I've had technical difficulties running two phones and my AirPods. So I can hear you on my other phone all good. So as long as this works, maybe I'll just speak to the Footprint account and just go that way. Mr. Lightspeed, intro's all yours, buddy.
Oh, hey, let's see here. We just got a small group here. Think I have met or spoken to some of you guys already, and I'm over from the Bad Idea AI crew. I help with the coding of the AI behind the chatbot system, and also do a lot of variety of different work. I got cryptolistings.ai is my website. I do support for projects such as listing support, data aggregator, total supply, circulation supply reviews, things like that. So that's what brought me actually over originally to Bad Idea AI. And happy to be here to talk about AI. We got an interesting agenda today. So thanks for having me on board.
Hey, thanks for joining. Always happy to have you here, Mr. Lightspeed. Always have some great points to make. So happy to have you here. And I guess without further ado, while we wait for some of the other speakers to join up here, let's just dive in. So my little intro blurb for you guys is, whether you like it or not, AI will soon be a part of your daily routine, right? AI tooling has made leaps and bounds in technological advancements really never before seen. So how can we adapt to this more efficient way of life, and what can we expect? And that's what we're going to be diving into today. So our first question is, what task or routine in your daily schedule do you expect to see made streamlined through the use of AI?
Well, for me, it has definitely been with my Python coding. I jumped in on the coding for the AI chatbot systems about 3 months ago. And I do have a computer science background, but that degree and all that general engineering that I did is back way into 1993 and earlier. So I was coding at a much more basic level than what you see today. But fortunately, Python and some of these new languages have lots and lots of pre-built modules to make your life a lot easier. And the IDEs, which are these integrated development type of environments that you do your coding in now have AI tools built into them. It's a given. Everybody who's developing is using AI now. And I've been using it as a teaching tool to refresh my memory. And it's in my learning curve this time around has skyrocketed. And it has made me a lot more efficient. I use it for debugging. I use it to help me finish a train of thought I'm working on. And so I think anybody who is coding should be familiar with using the tools for this fashion. I'm curious if anyone else here is a coder and has been using AI to help them with that. But it has definitely, it's going to make mistakes. So you still need to know how to code because it will make mistakes. It will, it's not always the most efficient. So you still got to be able to know what you're seeing, know the consequences of what it proposes. You still need to know that it's very hard for it to take large chunks of code and put everything into context. It will get very narrow-minded and forget about everything else that's built around it. So you have to be very careful with it. And AI can still make mistakes. So it's data in, data out at the end. It's still a tool. You still have to know how to use it properly. Now, I'll leave it with that so that someone can jump in on that point.
Yeah, Mr. Laceby, I'm gonna hop right in on that as well. Me personally, I've been with Footprint for so long now, and I still can't write SQL very well. So I've been really harnessing the use of AI to really get my queries going, or at least give me a baseline for my queries, so that, so that I can actually make these charts and dashboards, especially when I'm getting a little bit more customized with my dashboards. So yeah, absolutely, coding AI is just so great for me because I can just ask it to pop up that query for me. I can look at it, still don't know what it means, and come up with a chart. So that's helpful for me. Shane, all yours, buddy.
So when I think about this question, I think about this not as a coder or developer or anything like that, because I'm just a regular guy that's into crypto. I'm just a dude running the account. Remember, I'm not a coder like Lightspeed is and some of these other people. And I would urge you from that perspective, if you guys are here listening and you're into AI, I thought about this question from a different perspective. So I get up every morning very early in the morning. I have a fitness business that I run. So I have to get up early in the morning, and I've got a lot of set routines and things that I do pretty normally in the morning. I think a lot of people are kind of like that, where they've got preordained routines and set rhythms that they go through. And I want you to think of the question that he asked, not from like what Lightspeed did was great. He thought of like the one task that really whips his ass and how he's going to use it. But I want to ask you to walk through your day mentally from the moment you wake up and ask yourself questions like, what could be automated? What could be hands-free? What could be taken away from my task list by a machine learning system that understood my behaviors, patterns, and goals? What if it knew what I was trying to do? What if the house as an entire entity knew what I was trying to do? And what if, because of things like pressure sensors, air pressure sensors, it would be easy to know when you woke up and sat up in your bed. You know, the room would be disturbed, and it could begin a series of things like turning on lights as you entered the room. They call it the Internet of Things, right? Like where you can talk to your light bulbs and shit. Like we already do that at home with our Alexa devices. How far ahead are you really thinking when you say, what could AI do to remove obstacles? Because you guys are thinking like obstacles like Python coding, and I'm talking about the fucking laundry on the floor, my guy. When can it turn on the Roomba?
Oh, I hear you.
What do you think about that, Lightspeed? When you think, like, can it do the coffee just right?
Oh, I have never gotten a perfect coffee yet, and I'm brewing one right now while I'm pacing around the house. But it would be pretty cool if I could say, man, this is just a little bit too bitter. And my Keurig, because I'm lazy, goes, oh, well, I'll just kind of just slow the drip a little bit or whatever. That would be pretty cool.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Because it works on an iteration, it works on feedback, and AI is all about feedback. Even with Bad Idea AI, I got to give it feedback. I wasted 6 hours last night fine-tuning everything to try to get it to be a little bit more engaging and specific in what it replies to, and it's a teaching process. So if you just literally, the best analogy I can come up with is just as you interact with something, a gizmo, we'll just use the word gizmo, can you give it feedback? And you're probably more unlikely than in that AI world, like you're talking about, Shane.
It gets pretty cool. Alex, can you
Yeah,
think of, because I know when I brought
crazy.
this up, you both started thinking, Alex, what are things you would like to have taken off of your plate to like make your day faster when you think of it that way? Is it like preheating your car or something like that, or getting your lunch ready?
You know, for me, I'm gonna keep it even a little bit more simple, you guys. I would just be really happy to wake up every day to have tailored news that I want to look at. You know, every day have my daily news completely tailored for what I'm interested in. Something like that would be a great start for me. You know, even thinking a little bit more going ahead, I'd also love to, you know, use AI to more optimize my day a little bit better, maybe optimize my schedule, fill in the gaps where you know, where I have some spare time, where I shouldn't have some spare time, you know. I'd kind of just like to make overall just make me a little bit more efficient here. So that's kind of where I'm landing. And in the short term, long term, I mean, geez, kind of the options are endless. Shane.
So on another side of that coin, I thought further about this. So that was how I'd start my day. I'm also thinking about like leaving at the end of the day, so everybody can picture this, right? You know, Alex is like leaving the high rise down to get into that Mercedes S class down in the garage, and his phone is talking to his car saying, "Hey, it looks like we're leaving the top floor. We're headed down the elevator. It's this time of day. It's very likely he's leaving." You know, so cue up that heated seat, because right now you might be able to do that stuff with your key fob or your app on your phone. But what if your AI assistant in your phone knew all of that and had, you know, access to these different apps, you know, and could do that for you? And then as he gets in the car, he leaves, and his wife or his kids get a text message that says, "Hey, Dad's on the way home, so get your shit together, you know, and be ready when he hits the door, because you know how he likes it," or whatever. I don't know what traditional household Alex runs. I picture it's very bougie, and Alex is like, he gets home and the kids come running like, "Daddy," and he's like, "Hello, children." Like, imagine if the AI could remove the friction. This is Lightspeed's thing. Remove the friction, remove those obstacles, just to the little, like he said, what if it was
We
saving you?
just
Lightspeed's going to make fun of me. What if it saved you 7 minutes on the way home? Would
Yeah,
that be
well, how
worth
about we just use AI to remove the children and make my life a lot easier?
it? That save you some time for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you guys, great. I'm really happy with how this question went for sure. So also I want to do a little bit of a room reset right after the first question. If you guys are in this space here, enjoying what we're talking about so far, give us a comment, retweet the room. Let's get your friends in here. That's right. I'm looking at you, Drams. I'm looking at you, Paula, Zafir, Jason. That's right, you guys. If you're enjoying the space, give us a retweet, give us a comment, right? Let's get more people in here. Now, let's move on to our second question. So, how smooth can you expect this transition with the public, right? Is the average person ready to embrace our optimization overlords? Yeah, Shane.
But average person. We start with definition before we get into my answer for that, because like we got to figure out what the average person is. I know that there are people that are still resistant to the idea of having things like an Alexa device in their home or a Siri on their phone, you know, and they're like, "Oh, it's listening to me and it's gonna take my personal information," and stuff like that. And you don't know where the threshold is for people, but there's a line somewhere that can be drawn with people, where there are people who are really worried about that and people who are totally given up to the idea that this is an inevitable cyber future where all that is being harvested no matter what. And that's where you end up at the Internet of Things. You know, like I was just describing, imagine your home knowing your whereabouts, like what room you were in, what your preferences for that room were. I definitely think that there are some people that are not just, they're just not going to be comfortable. They're never going to get comfortable with it. But there are also people now who are, you know, running out and getting that new Apple headset and trying to do everything in their life with that headset on because they want to be the bleeding edge technology adopters and stuff. So it's going to be tough to get the general public. It'll have to be the soft stuff, like turning on your lights or talking to your car. Or do you guys use that "Hey Mercedes" Or, for Alex, do you know how annoying it is in your car when you say the word Ferrari and it always queues up the system inside of there because you say, "Hey, Ferrari," and that's how the voiceless system works. Isn't that frustrating?
Well, it would be frustrating if I had a Ferrari for sure. I've actually never really used too many voice commands with the whip. I'm old fashioned. I'm never using the built-in voice commands on the car. I don't know why. Just
Lightspeed, do you? And does anyone?
Um, I don't use the stuff in the car because I plug my phone in, and since I already having a relationship with my phone, it's a very intimate one too, by the way. That I just use that device. So in a way, I guess it's an extension of the vehicle since it has AirPlay, right? And so in a way, it's not really that different. So it's really what is better. But so in a way, I would say yes, I do, because I do plug in a device and allows me to interface with the vehicle, but it's still a mirror of the phone. I'm still using it while I'm driving. So in a way, I would say yes, I am. Um, Still got to do hands free, right? In most laws around the USA. So it definitely is keeping me from getting tickets. That's for sure.
I think more of that's coming for sure. As a automotive enthusiast myself, you can just tell the writings on the wall that more of that's going to come now. Where I'm at in the Midwest, it's a giant soda in one hand and a cheeseburger in the other.
Well,
So it's different.
it,
It's
it
different
just
out here.
doesn't. It just doesn't give me what you can do with the voice isn't the things I want to do with the voice. So I'll use an example. I got a Dodge Charger, 6.4 liter. So the thing is fast. I can't tell it, for example, switch to track mode, right? So that it disables my traction controls, so I can really get a good launch, and adjust the torque converter.
There's a button.
Um,
It has to be a physical button, right?
yeah, well, just more than that, I got to hit one button. Then I got to go into the screen comes up, right? And I got all my modes. I got, you got regular, you got sport, I got track, and then I just got it's completely unleashed. I mean, drag strip. I just couldn't use it unless I was actually on a drag strip. And so, but I got to go beep, 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 beep. And I'm sitting at the stoplight and I want to drag this.
you want to dust the Civi. I get it. You want to dust that
Yeah, they
Civic
got
and
a
go to the
Honda
wall.
Civic next to me. And I know I got to go and don't want to get embarrassed. And I can't, it'd be nice to be able to just give a verbal command. And that would just
you guys kind of reeling a little bit back in here when it comes to being completely connected through the Internet of Things. This question isn't on the list, but I just thought of it now. Is do you think eventually all of the AI programs that we're using in our day to day are they all going to be encrypted cryptographically, just in the terms of keeping our privacy and our data safe? Eventually, even I just saw a tweet from the White House here and how they're looking to start to encrypt cryptographically all of the Biden's press releases and stuff due to the rise of deepfakes. Now, do you think eventually all AI is going to have to be run on this crypto, or is going to be encrypted cryptographically?
I think it's unavoidable for a variety of reasons. And we're going to get into another topic about medical. And we still got a lot of, and we're going to get into the regulation piece of it. The protection of data is mandatory. No matter how you transmit the information, it has to be protected by some method, regardless of what that method is. You have to meet the intent of whatever law it is. For example, protecting a patient's information and whatnot. And we're about to get into this. So either way, in some places, you're mandated to find a solution, no matter the medium.